Okay, go back to call the meeting to order. Jim Gibberti, present.
Peter Dunlop, present.
Malcolm White, present.
We have Donna, Sandy, neither one. Okay, there's three of us present. We have a quorum. We can continue. We have minutes in the packet. We've got 6 pieces here to deal with. First is the minutes from August 12th. And we all were present at that one, so.
Yes, we were. We can do that one. I make a motion, we accept the minutes as written.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Okay, then the next I have, well, we need to approve it. This is just a notification that the meeting was canceled due to no quorum on the 26th. So just get a motion and it was a canceled meeting, so.
We just have to acknowledge that.
Right. I guess we just have a vote on it.
Thank
So-
you.
So we move to acknowledge it?
Yes, okay. Done.
How come Mac looks blue?
Hmm?
I've got three computer screens in front of me. One of them blue.
Ah,
Blue. He must be part of the Blue Man Group.
Yeah.
I have another one to be acknowledged for lack of quorum on September 9th. There was no meeting.
Jimmy,
Yes,
thank you. I'm just cutting in. Can you
Oh.
wait a, let me catch up when I get Alan out of my seat?
How much you gonna give me?
sit in his lap.
She couldn't get my iPad to work. I had to come in and take care of it.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay.
I'm leaving now before I get hit again. That's why I got my Bell's palsy. She hit me on the right side of the head again.
Okay, we have Sandy joining the meeting. With technology sucks at times. Not the greatest. Okay, and I have a notice of a meeting that was canceled, September 9th meeting, just to acknowledge that for the record.
Acknowledged.
Okay. Next set of minutes is the 23rd of September. The Malcolm was not present, but Sandy and Peter and I were, so.
Didn't you approve this at the last meeting?
Well, I thought we had, but I wasn't sure because it was in this packet, so. I didn't have that. So
right.
we'll just reapprove it. I had a motion,
Move to accept.
okay. And a second,
Second,
Sandy, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Be 301. We have now the meetings from October 14th. Malcolm was not present.
Move to accept.
I have a second?
second,
Second from Sandy and myself. All in favor?
Aye.
301.
Jimmy, you have to do
Yep.
roll calls on Zooms. Correct?
Oh,
Can we go back to August 12th and start over?
yeah. That's really make it confusing. We need a scorecard to keep track of this tonight. Okay, I had a motion by Malcolm. A second by Peter. All in favor? You'll have to announce by name.
You call the
Peterson.
name out and we will vote.
All right, Malcolm,
I made the
Malcolm.
motion. Yeah,
you made, yeah, Peter,
Yes.
myself, yes. Sandy, you're here now. You've seen the minutes, so,
Yes,
okay, so that's 400. For the, now for the canceled meetings, we just need to
there's nothing to,
does that have to be voted on? Don't have to vote on that.
no, I will sign it saying that the meeting confirmed that the meeting was canceled. We don't have to vote on it. There's nothing to vote on.
Right,
I will
okay,
just sign it on behalf of the commission.
okay, we have the 26th and the 9th. Okay, now we have the meeting of the 23rd. Okay, can I have who's a motion?
I think Peter made
Peter made the motion.
the motion and I seconded it on the September
Right.
23rd.
Right, okay. Peter, Sandy. Okay, all in favor? Myself, aye. Sandy,
Aye,
Peter,
Aye.
Malcolm,
I wasn't there.
that's right, you weren't, I'm sorry. You were right,
Abstain.
one abstention. I had that down already too. And now we have the meetings of the meeting of the 14th of October. Okay. So Sandy, did you make the motion?
Peter made the motion and I
Peter made the
seconded.
Okay, all in favor, Peter,
Aye.
Sandy,
Yes,
and myself, yes. Malcolm's abstention, he was not here.
I was not
Three
there.
I didn't
Zero.
hear Donna vote.
Is Donna here?
She's
Is Donna-
muted.
Oh, I
She's
didn't know Donna,
muted.
I'm sorry,
Unmute it. Unmute it.
I didn't know Donna was here.
It's
I'm
still
sorry.
muted.
Oh, I'm muted now?
There
There you go, okay.
All right. I'm going downstairs for the meeting. All right.
Do you want to vote on the October 14th minutes?
Yeah, I was going to, yes. Yeah, I approve them.
Okay, that's 401. Donna has managed to get into the meetings.
You know I'm technically challenged, don't you?
Join the club.
I'm technically retarded.
Just to confirm, the vote on September 23rd was 301, correct?
Correct. And there's another meeting
Okay.
canceled, no quorum for you to sign.
And when
That's
did
on
Donna, when
October
did Donna join this meeting?
Well, I was there about 5 minutes ago, but you didn't hear me.
Okay, so. Guy, I have one, Guy. I got a question for you. I'll get the bigger hammer. He's looking, okay. You found the right one.
What the heck is
This-
going on here? No. Yeah, well, whatever. I don't know
Okay,
what's
it's-
going on.
No, it's working, sort of working.
It just keeps coming and going, so I don't know what's going on. Now they got
Hear
me
you
in
anyway.
post 10D. Well, I'm not anywhere. Yeah, here I am. Okay, go ahead.
I just had one question. Was from the minutes of the 14th of October. Who is JDL Enterprises? We were talking about the Chinese technology.
That's who it is, JDL Enterprises.
Is that an American company or is that a Chinese company or is that a,
JDL Enterprises is a Chinese company. It's a
Okay.
Chinese technology. It's a Chinese company. And they
Okay, so
have
it's not-
and they have a United States headquarters in Manhattan, New York.
Ah. Okay. Thank you. I just need clarification on that because I couldn't find it. Okay. Next, we have from GAF Engineering Sewer Connection. This is for the property next to Bessie Park. They're looking for 5,250 gallons per day on the request. Are there any questions?
What's the
Sorry,
recommendation?
What'd you say, Sandy?
I'm sorry, it says a restaurant with 150 seats. I thought there were two properties there. Is it only for the restaurant as opposed to the other building?
There's
He
three
has two
properties.
sewer connections.
Yes, 3 sewer connections.
I'm sorry, am I missing them on the plan? I only see two.
Well, that's probably what Bill is showing that they'll probably utilize, but there are 3.
All right. Where?
Well, I don't have the plan in front of me. There's a set of plans, Bill, I think they were from 1972. And it shows 3 laterals, one across from Cedar, I think one a little further along towards Zecco Marina, then one just at the edge of the property abutting with the condos.
Guy, you may think there are 3, but there are only 2 on the plan.
I said that. I said there's on the plan, but there's 3 on the original. The
But
property has 3
what are-
lots.
What are we approving?
We're approving a restaurant for 5,200 gallons per day. I don't know what lateral they're going to use, and I really don't care. But they're going to put in they're only going to use one lateral out. If there was 2, 3, or 4, they're only using one.
They're using one from the restaurant, and what about the one coming out of the other building?
You're
have
talking
that.
about 2 different things, Sandy.
I don't
Oh,
have.
You're
what is
talking about the plan for the restaurant. Guy is talking what's available on the street.
So we're talking about the plans. 5,250 is for what's in front of us.
Okay, so we are not approving the hookup from the secondary building. We're only approving the hookup from the restaurant.
What is the secondary buildings? Are they restaurants?
He doesn't say what it is. To me, he says it's an ice cream shop.
Okay, so if it's an ice cream shop, I don't see a whole lot of flow. This 5,200 gallons, very conservative.
But the point
So-
is, you're asking
I'll give
us.
you let me explain to you. I don't care if he puts an ice cream shop, if he puts a retail, the 5,250 will cover all that he wants to do there. Simple as that. That's all. He'll cover everything he wants to do there. From what I'm hearing, I haven't seen anything official, but if he wants to do the 150 seat restaurant, he wants to do a little shop that has an ice cream thing in it. He wants to do a gazebo that has nothing in it. I don't know, maybe a bathroom. He's got plenty of volume in the 5,250.
Okay, I am confused. The request is for the use of the restaurant for 150 seats.
Mhm.
Maybe that's throwing me off if he's asking only for the restaurant and nothing else. I can't make the assumption that this 5,250 is for the whole property. He's only asking for the restaurant. Or am I missing GAF's request?
Well, the 5,250 for the restaurant is the high, so is the greatest flow. I asked them to use Title V regulations. And they run the numbers by Title V, 35 gallons per seat, which gives them a very conservative. So that would allow, if they were going, because I don't know, I don't have any final plans for anything else, but I can say if there's going to be an ice cream shop or a gazebo with a bathroom within these 5,250s, it'd be plenty of flow to accommodate the restaurant and the ice cream shop and the gazebo. That's all I'm saying. He can do more than what the restaurant, the 5,250 is way beyond what the restaurant's going to require and everything else. But I asked them to use Title V numbers because I'm a conservative kind of person when it comes to numbers. So he's got plenty of flow there. So what I'm saying is that the 5250, I'd like the board to prove that he can connect and he can put in 5,250 gallons to the
It's
system.
clarified in the letter. He's basically requesting authorization to discharge 5,250. He's saying it is intended to connect to one or more 6-inch SDR 35 PVC sewer services to doghouse manholes. As noted.
Yes.
So there's a possibility for 2 or more.
So he can
But
bring over that.
when
list.
I read
Yes.
this, it's not to exceed 50.
What's a doghouse manhole?
It's just it's a manhole with 2 U's. It looks, okay, let me draw it for you. Because by the time I get done explaining it, you might be more confused.
So Mac, you're comfortable?
So
this
there's a
request is for the-
doghouse manhole.
Sorry,
I don't know
wait a
if you
minute.
can see it. Well, you asked the question, I'm trying to answer it. There's your doghouse manhole. Can you see it?
Yep.
Okay, so what happens is that manhole goes over the existing pipe. And then they
Yes.
cut the pipe, whatever they want to
Right.
connect to it, and then they pour around it and create a, if you will, an invert and a shelf.
So it's essentially a new manhole over an existing main.
That is correct.
And they isolate it before they cut it open, Sandy. So we
That's
don't
right.
have any spills before they tie in. So
So,
that's, it's gravity there, right?
It is.
so to be clear, they're asking for 5,250 for all activity on lots 1124, 1125, and 1126.
I would say that is correct.
We have the capacity?
We do.
Hey, do I have a motion for acceptance?
Make a motion, we accept it as proposed.
Second,
Second,
did I have a second?
yes,
Yes, Peter seconded.
Oh, Peter. Okay, thank you, Peter.
Can we,
Okay, all in
have a
favor?
little, can we have a little discussion
Yes,
before we
sure.
close this? Guy, please go back to them and make sure they check the gallonage, but as it stands, I'm in favor of it.
They're not going to be able to exceed 5,250, but I'll double check it.
Yeah, I would just double check.
Yep.
All right, Jimmy.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Jim?
Roll
Mac?
call, please, Jim.
I just did. Mac? Just
Aye.
said yes. Peter?
yes,
Okay, Sandy?
Yes.
Donna?
Yes.
And I've already said myself yes. It's 500. The next we have is, this was presented on the 14th of October and it's back again. 386 to 388 Main Street abatement.
Mr.
Was
Chairman? if you
declined,
want,
yes.
I'm going
Go
to
ahead.
ask him to reapply in February. He purchased the property a year ago. At the end of the year, which would be February 2022, he can reapply for the year. So I'm just going to simply have him reapply and we'll abate it on that day because he hasn't quite made a year yet. He purchased, as it says in the letter, he purchased the property February 2021. February 2022 will be his year.
Okay,
Well, who paid the bill?
so we'll,
He paid the bill, but that's what he'll get the bills abated because he paid it for
So he's
for the
looking
last
for
year.
$4,000 abatement?
Yes, because he paid from February 1st of 2021 and it's going to be a year. So when he has his year in, then he'll bring it back and we'll approve the abatement of the full 4,000, whatever the dollars are.
Why can't we just approve it and not give it to him till February? That's all.
Whatever your board's pleasure. I'm just saying that.
I'm-
while it's his
okay.
year, the board, I don't have a problem with it, whatever the board's pleasure.
No, I was
is, I'll
just,
do it.
that was
Yeah,
just,
I don't have a problem with it. That's whatever the board feels is right. Yes.
make your motion, Donna.
Well, I don't have the paperwork in front of me, but make sure that, I mean, I make a motion that we approve the abatement.
Subject to the time frame.
Yes, subject to the time frame.
The amount was $4,037.99.
Correct.
Correct.
Thank you, Sandy.
Do I have a second on that?
Second,
Second, Sandy. All in favor?
I,
Mac, I,
Sandy,
yes,
Donna,
I,
and Peter,
Yes,
and myself, yes. It's 500. So this is, the abatement will go into effect in February. Is that correct, Guy?
It is
What you said.
correct. After the year,
After
yes.
he,
it's
after he
seasons a year.
refiles.
Yes, because there'll be another billing cycle in February. And at that
Yep.
billing cycle is when we'll abate it.
Gotcha, okay. And now we have 6 Franks Way again.
So
Is there
what I'm
any update on it?
suggesting, I've been talking to the water district. It's really a unique situation. She still has a meter. She still pays the bill, but they shut it off at the street. It's a seasonal shut off. You can go back at any time, but as of this very second, there is no water. It hasn't been for the last year. I believe the last water was on 2021 of the summer. So I'm sorry, 2019. The water actually has been off. They put it on briefly for 2021. But anyways, it's been off a year. It's really a messed up situation. I've never seen anything like this. She chooses to continue to pay a bill. I believe it's because of insurance purposes, and I really don't want to get into that. But in talking to the superintendent, we sat and went over this for quite some time. And he said, Guy, officially, technically, it's been off for a year to meet our criteria. So we'll abate it to $313. I'll put this account on hold and it'll be the end of it. I'll have to follow it because I'll have to know when she puts it back on. It's a seasonal shut off, so it means it can come back on any time, whether I'm notified or not. I'm going to have to follow this. So what I'm suggesting is we abate her, and it's going to be our responsibility to follow it from going forward in the amount of $313.
I make a motion, we accept Guy's recommendation to abate $313 for 6 Franks Way.
I have a second,
second,
Donna. All in favor, Peter,
yes,
Mac,
yes,
Donna,
yes,
Sandy,
Yes,
and myself, yes. Was 500. Okay, ongoing project updates. I want to update, what's the status with the individual from yesterday?
They're
Yeah.
critical and stable condition. I'm sorry, my puppy's not
Okay.
cooperating tonight. She wants to jump up and knock things off. I got in the crate and she's not cooperating. I'm afraid to let her up. But anyways,
Okay,
it's, I just don't want it to become an issue to the board.
not,
What am I sharing?
not a
I
problem
don't know
with
what
me.
I don't know what I'm sharing here. How'd this come up? Come on. Okay. So as well, his official status, he's critical but stable. He was able to have FaceTime with his wife yesterday, and we'll get further update tomorrow. He's still in the hospital. Last I knew, that was this afternoon, and that is what is it, Beth Israel in Boston.
Oh, okay.
what happened?
Guy fell into the tank. What happened is out back, I think I've asked you many times to come down. We're putting in 3 new denitrification filters.
Yeah,
We've got a 23-foot excavation, and Monday morning they poured they poured walls. The walls are 20 feet high, and it encompasses the 3 individual basins, the denite filters. So they poured concrete. It's been quite cold. They built a tent around it. They put 1 million BTU heaters to maintain 50 to 70 degrees of that concrete at all times. He came in early morning to check the temperature probes. And in that process, he slipped. We believe he slipped 16 feet, fell down to the concrete, and he has head trauma and trauma to the neck, and other trauma that we're not aware of. He was med flighted to Beth Israel, and he's been there ever since.
But it's nothing to do, we didn't do anything wrong.
We have nothing to do with it. I
Okay,
spent the
that's what
day-
that's what I thought.
I think somebody asked why I didn't notify. Well, the course of the day, I had to deal with OSHA. I had to deal with mass public safety. I had to deal with a bunch of media, and it got to be a crazy, stressful day. I went home, climbed into bed, and slept until the next morning.
No,
It's
I
been
understand.
crazy. It's been crazy. It's been very stressful.
I understand. I just wanted to hear what actually happened because I followed the news and that, but I didn't want to bother you, and I wanted to wait and hear from you what actually transpired. Thank you.
Because I had no information on his. Tom's a good guy. He's one of those contractors. He's a superintendent for West Corporation. He's one of those guys that are very conscientious, and he gives 110%, and he wants to make sure everything's right. So his due diligence to come in at that early in the morning at that temperatures, to climb in a tent with nobody around. We don't know how long he was there. We've got a timeline, we think, but he was found, and they found him moaning, and I believe he has frostbite in his fingertips, I believe. So he was laying there moaning for some time. So it was pretty crazy. And my heart goes out to him and his family. He's one of those guys that if you meet him, you fall in love with him. So he's in our prayers and thoughts, and we're getting updates all the time. The company's been great. They let us know what's going on. They've been very good to him. So I'm pretty pleased with the way everybody has responded and handled. So that's him. As I get updates, I'll share them. That's my last update on his health.
Should we send anything?
We're going to send something.
Okay.
It's suspected he'll be there for another week, and so I don't know if I should send it. I'd like to get his wife's address. I'll talk to Wes and send it there.
Yeah.
Because visitations in hospitals, she can't go there. That's why she's FaceTime. And so I want to let her know that we support her and we're concerned. I think it's good to support her.
Good.
And so I think that's what should go. So I'll talk to Wes and find out the best way to handle it.
All right.
So projects, I'll go over these. There's a bunch of them going on. I'll try to do my very best. First of all, we're going to probably have to recertify retained earnings. In talking to Judy today, retained earnings are probably not accurate. Funds been coming out of it to pay for the construction. We've paid out of that so far to date, 3.8 million, I believe, or 2.8 million or something. We paid a lot of money out of it. So it's got to be shuffled around and recertified. The SRF funds will be getting reimbursed, and that process is starting. So retained earnings is a little sketchy. So, which brings me to Narrow's lining of the pipe. It's approximately $3.8 million all totaled, and that may need to be borrowed instead of on our retained earnings. We're to the final. We're going out to bid on it. And our thoughts is that we'll put it out to bid, get some hard numbers, and make some solid decision as to how we're going to fund it and do it. The only issue is I have no timeline for articles. We can guess what's going on, and I'm not really so sure about the timeline. So once the timeline comes, we'll be forced to make a solid decision at that point in time, how we're going to fund it.
Well, wait a minute.
Go ahead.
We haven't borrowed the money, have we?
No.
This hasn't been approved at town meeting, has it?
What's that?
The funding.
No, it's going to town meeting in the spring. But
Which
to have it
is
in town
for-
meeting in the spring, we have to have articles. So I'm thinking sometime February, March, we'll have to do articles. That's all I'm saying. We have to do articles.
So
right? It's going to be. So they'll give us a timeline.
If it's approved at town meeting, we can't use the funds until July, correct?
July 1. Well, it depends, Sandy. If it's a special town meeting that can be used immediately, we can borrow
No.
immediately. Or if it's on the regular town meeting,
Yes.
it'd have to be July 1. So yeah, whatever it is, I don't really think it's, July 1's fine. We do it July 1, it's fine. We just got to bring it to town meeting in the spring.
Do we
But
have
what I
it
wanted-
in?
Do we have what?
it in the, sorry, do we have it in our budget for FY '22?
No. No.
So, okay, then where do we get the money from?
I'm going to suggest we borrow it, but as we get closer to the cost, we'll figure it out. I'm trying to follow borrowing of funds. If it's cheaper to borrow, we'll borrow. Retained earnings has to be reworked, so I can't go to retained earnings until I get some hard numbers. So as of this second, and we'll have to refine as we move along, I will probably have to borrow the funds.
How are we
My
gonna pay for
concern-
it?
Pay for
The
what?
borrow. We can,
I have no idea yet. We can talk about that. I don't know.
Oh,
I don't.
we need to talk about it before we even talk about putting it out to bid or anything. How are we gonna pay for it?
I don't know, but when I put it out to bid, I'll have hard numbers and then we can talk about hard numbers. Unless you want me to guesstimate, why don't we say we'll do $4 million and we'll talk about $4 million. So if we're gonna do $4 million, and that's what we're gonna guesstimate it to be, because it may be more, maybe less. I think it's gonna be less. I'm thinking 2.6 to 3.5, but I wanted to see what the hard
Okay.
numbers were.
This
And then
is too,
Sandy, if we put it out the bids for your clarification, doesn't mean I have to do the project. We're just looking for hard numbers. That's all it is.
okay,
That's
this
all it
is to line narrows.
Yes, from the
Line the
Narrows
main?
Pump Station, yes, the force main, the 18-inch force main from Narrows Pump Station to the wastewater treatment facility. The pump, 6 years ago, we had analyzed. They told us that it is failing. It's between 60%, 40% actually, up to 90% failed in certain areas. We're living on borrowed time. They told us to do it within 5 years. We're in year 6.
Okay,
So,
how-
I mean, go ahead.
How long
I'm just
is
trying.
what's the distance?
I would say 1.9 miles from Narrows Pump Station down Narrows Road to Minot Ave, under the river, to the pump station, to the treatment plant is 1.9 miles.
So,
That's the number that was out there before. It was 1.8.
Yeah, with these numbers are not new. We've talked about them. We've banged
They're
them
not
the
new.
we've banged them the last
That's
5
the same.
years.
Right.
For the last 5 years, we've talked about this exact same thing. Distance and lengths cost for 5 years. That's
Yeah.
all I want to say.
But we've also changed the direction on what we're doing and how we're doing it over that period of time.
That's
because
right.
of different technology and different stuff's available, which
We
is
went
fine.
from $8.5 million. Now we're down to
Exactly.
$3.5 million.
Yeah.
And so
So
we're
we'll
looking at
be-
saving money.
we'll be lining the existing pipes, so we will not be digging up the road.
We'll be digging up the road in certain spots to pull the lining in and to connect
Well,
it and go on.
Granted,
But we
but
won't
not,
be excavating. the
not
whole
a
road.
trench
You're
all the way
absolutely
down Narrows or Minot.
correct. You're correct.
Okay,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Can I ask a question?
Yes,
Sure.
go ahead, Donna.
Why haven't we been talking about any rate increases?
I thought we'd do that the next meeting.
Okay,
I thought we'd actually sit down, roll up the sleeves and talk about rate increases, see what our liabilities are, et cetera, and then figure out, and rate increases would probably definitely be a strong
What-
consideration. Yes.
couldn't, we haven't gotten any, weren't we gonna get numbers and stuff from you? As far as
Numbers, what kind of numbers?
well, how are we gonna figure out a rate increase if we don't know what we need?
Well, we have the budget numbers. It's in your packet. So we have the budget numbers and we can refine that. I can go further into it. Last meeting, we gave out the itemized budget numbers. And then in this meeting, I put the package that talks about the income and the expenditures. So you have our expenditures, and you have our
Okay.
income. And so we have those numbers so we can stop playing with it. It's okay, what more do we need? How much more do we need if we're going to borrow, which increases our borrowing line? And whatever that number is for the debt service is what we'll go after. I'm thinking if you say $4 million, debt service is probably going to be about $100 and something thousand. So we have to find that in the budget, which is a very minimal increase. So I'm trying to get hard numbers to make better decisions as to what we really need. That's all. But I think at the next meeting would be more appropriate to talk about it in depth as far as what we need. I'm getting numbers in from the contractors and just to have a ballpark so we can talk about it, but that's why I was gonna bid it.
I just don't, I can see that you're exhausted and you've obviously been under a lot of stress and strain. So I'm not trying to cause any more, but
I don't take it that way.
I really want to have, I hope you're not anticipating that we're going to vote on it after just seeing the numbers. I want to take time and absorb this. And I also want to get the plant what it needs too, but I don't want to be, you know, I just don't want to be in a, I want to make a legitimate, intelligent decision and be able to back it up with why we're doing it.
I would suggest strongly, because this is what's going to happen, is meetings are short, an hour, 2 hours, maybe. It should almost be like a workshop. We sit down and bang at it for an extended period of time to get to what we need. So there's an understanding. We talk about projects 5, 6 years, 4 years, 2 years, and we do little pieces. And it's hard to put it all together. That's for anybody. And so I don't know what the best approach is. I do say, Donna, you're welcome to come down the plant. I mean this sincerely, and you can look at numbers all day. And you can get a really good explanation of what's going on. So you have a better concept in your mind to make a better informed decision. And I mean that to anybody. And I'll supply you whatever you need. I mean that because it's important.
I know that, but and I know that, and you always have. What I'm basically saying is, then maybe we should have a workshop and to hammer this out sooner than later, because you know, it's just going to add more stress to the already very stressed a plant. And I think we've got to hit this, and we've got to hit it right away. And it would be nice to know what we're going to do and how we're going to do it before we go to town meeting or anywhere else. And be able to back it up. That's my concern. I've thought about this, and I know we have to do something quickly. And I'm for a workshop, whenever you guys want to, and I am going to take you up with coming down to the plant to look at some numbers.
Please.
But I don't
mean
want
that
to,
sincerely.
I don't want to bother you when things are crazy like this.
Well, Donna, here's the frankness of it. I don't have an uncrazy moment. So I want you to feel comfortable to come down.
Okay.
And I'll make time and give you what you need and sit with you and go over everything. Because if you tell me waiting for an uncrazy moment, I'm going to tell you probably 2-3 years. And so I don't have an uncrazy moment. So please come down. Please come down. And I think everybody has that open invitation, and you guys can maybe figure it out. 2 can come Monday, 2 can come Tuesday, 2, whatever, just so everybody has an opportunity in a shorter period of time to really hammer things. And then you can come together as a group and then debate what each has, and then present something that's, reasonable or whatever. Just a
Jimmy, can we put this on the next agenda, rate increase discussion?
Yep, definitely.
Because it's not on this agenda.
No,
No, it wasn't.
no, that's why we're
I'm
not
just supposed to
discussing it.
update on projects. That's all I'm doing. So
Well,
we got off on a tangent.
exactly.
I apologize. So, Narrows, we're going to go out to bid. We'll get some hard numbers. One Kinko, and we estimate to be 3.6 million. One Kinko, we've had the survey done. We're 90% done with what we're going to do there as far as laying out the grinder pumps. That project is projected to be 2.5 million. We can discuss payment some other time at a meeting for that specific, but that's on the works. And again, One Kinko has failed. We're pumping ridiculously often. The neighbors one neighbor offered to rent us a house so we could be there quicker and more because we're there every day. So
what was the number on One Kiko again, please, Guy?
Approximately 2.5.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And then Bay Point, we've allocated 34,000 gallons per day. There's a lot of controversy going on amongst the owners, the old owners, the new owners. There's emails out there. Not not our purview or our discussion. I think I included one of the letters inside your packet to get a flavor for what's going on and being said. But it's a private development. It's private debates. It has nothing to do with us. We have to make sure that they adhere to the 34,000 gallons per day. We have to make sure that they adhere to the best practices for wastewater application when it comes to constructing of wastewater. And that's the things that we're responsible for and we will do. And I don't want to get into it. I've told everybody from Bay Point, don't drag me into a debate. What's right, what's wrong, what's good, what's bad, because that's not my purview and I don't want to even get into it. And so the board may get letters, you may get invited to dig into the conversation. Our conversation is we've approved 34, don't go drop over and show us what you're doing so we can make sure it meets all best practices. And that's where I'm leaving. I talked about the plant, so we've got the EQ basin in. We've got the pillars ready for the covering of it. We've got the wet wells in for the EQ covered basin. So now it's a matter of wrapping up some of just getting components. Ductile line has been difficult to get. The structure has been difficult to get. We're finding quite a bit of things that are being difficult to get.
Excuse me, Guy.
Go ahead.
I cannot hear you with static. Does anybody else hear that or is it just me?
I hear it too.
I hear it too.
It's hard.
Static.
I'm getting every fourth word from you, Guy.
Yeah, but those are the
Well,
important
that's
ones.
probably because I'm only using every fourth word. It's a new language.
Okay.
I don't know where the static is coming from, so I apologize. I'll try to get closer to the mic. Maybe that's it. I don't know. Is that any better?
No,
No. So I don't know what it is, to be honest. I don't. I really don't. That's if you get every fourth word, it may not be wise to continue. But anyways, we've got the EQ basin in, and we're wrapping that up. We have a difficult time getting pots, hard time getting metal, et cetera, et cetera. So it may extend the duration of the project. We'll keep you informed of that. Budget we'll talk about next week. You have the budget numbers. The outfall. We need direction. We have to talk about what we're going to do with the outfall. I think Jim was CC'd in the email that we've had with Mr. Sullivan in regards to it may not be wise to move forward at this time and expend any more funds. But he did say in that email that it'll be a policy decision by the board. The board will have to consider what they want to do.
Okay.
Minor school. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I'm going to jump in here at that particular point. There's an $800,000 request for Kleinfelder to continue. And the thinking at this point is that we should not continue right at the moment, put it on hold because there's serious objection from Bourne. Our ability to get funds under a regional aspect without having a regional setup obviously is restricted, limited, non-existent at the moment. I believe that probably what we need to be doing, and this is on a separate page from here at the moment, and let's try to work a little more heavily on getting one or two towns to come in with us and support this pipeline. Bourne's position at the moment appears to be wishy-washy. A lot of serious arguments against it, whether they're valid or not is a secondary comment. But they're out there, and so the board of Bourne is obviously pulling back from their original position. Without having buy-in from at least one or more other towns on this, regionalization is not a discussion. I believe the attitude at the moment overall, if we don't get some of that, get a regionalization, this thing may be dead in the water. So at the present time, I would suggest that we table doing anything more on this monetarily, and see how everything shakes out as we go forward.
Yeah, that's the consensus, and it's not the town board, it's a special interest group within. board.
Right,
Actually,
exactly.
they gave us. So I want to be clear, it wasn't the elected body that brought this forward. There's a couple of people from an area that they believe there's going to be raw sewer in the canal, and they don't want Wareham sewer. And I think they forget that there's born sewer in there also. That's another
Keep in
story.
mind, sorry, they voted at town meeting.
To get that, but they admit like any article was presented by a special interest group.
I
And
know,
then,
but
like, you know how
it-
county meetings work. If I bring enough people, I'll get whatever I want. That's what
It
I'm saying. That's
passed.
all I'm saying. I get it. It did.
passed.
It did.
Therefore-
Non-binding. Wait a minute. It's non-binding. It's non-binding. It's just a interest group. Lots of time is would like to stop it. It's non-binding vote. And I get that, Sandy, because at any town meeting in Wareham, if I bring 300 people to town meeting and I want to paint the town purple, then I'll get the town painted purple. I get all that. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. It just means that me and my group want the town to be purple. So all I'm saying is, and let me just make one more point. I wasn't doing this for regionalization. I thought the alcohol was important for the town of Wareham because I'm thinking the Springtown meeting, we're going to talk about another moratorium because I've got about 30,000 gallons more to give away and sewer's done. And that's all. And so my point is where do we go from here? And the town of Wareham is going to keep kicking the can down the road saying, I don't want to spend any money for the town of Wareham because it's going to be expensive, but there'll be no more sewer. So we'll stop sewering and we'll start adding big septic systems into all these projects. So I don't know where to go. It's not my call, but I just want to present it and let the town decide. We're doing a comprehensive wastewater management plan because we're at 78%, which is required by DEP. It's about $650 in the capital of the budget. That plan will give us direction. Whether we follow that direction is optional, but we have to have some plan. We can't just keep saying no, 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 and that's okay. But if we're saying no, we have to have an alternative plan or we don't see it. But anyways, so that's all
Did
I
I
can say
just hear
about
you?
the outcome.
Did you just say you're going to recommend a moratorium to all future hookups in the spring? Did I
Yes, I
hear
did.
that?
I
Yep.
did, because I'm gonna be out of capacity in the spring. I'm gonna give out every drop I have. I've been doing that.
So at what
And in the spring,
time?
we'll have-
Oh, so
Go ahead.
when do we vote on that moratorium? The day before it's to be implemented? Or do
Probably.
we start talking about it now?
That's your call. But I'm just telling you, I'm gonna recommend it in the spring because in the spring,
Is it on
I'll
the
be out
agenda?
of capacity.
Spring is just around the corner.
Is it on the
Yeah, I
agenda?
know,
No,
I know.
Oh, we can't talk about it then.
please put it
Yeah,
on the
it's like, so
agenda
we'll-
for the next meeting. Jimmy?
Well,
Yep, done.
So that's the outfall and that's the future that we've got to talk about. Minus school pump station, I don't know what to tell Mr. Giancola. He's emailed the superintendent. Everybody's been emailed. They did a beautiful job on that school. They put beautiful trees around. There's no access to any pump station there. And he says, what happens if it breaks? I said, I don't know what to tell you. I'm out of it. It's not our problem. It is now your problem. And so that's all I got to say about that. We've been talking about this for 2 years. And I'm done talking about it. And now it's going to be his issue. He can solve it. So that's about that minor pump station.
Oh, mine, okay.
Poor guy. So that's not going to do. I think that's pretty much general speaking of everything, unless there's someone has a specific question about a project that I may have forgotten. We know that Woodland Cove has started. They've been working there consistently. We know that they've applied for the 40B down the road from the Cove. They're with the DOT trying to make that connection. That's moving forward. I'm getting calls from the people from Littleton Drive. And they want to do the engineering. They want to move the force main. All that's being done. So I guess that project is going to go. So that's happening. And I think that's about it.
Okay, just for, I don't know if everybody knows, but just so you know, Steve isn't able to do anything about Guy's audio.
What's that?
Okay.
Steve did?
Steve is not able to do anything about Guy's audio.
It's not. Oh, wow.
He
So you
tried.
does he think it's my computer?
It's either that or the dog.
You think it's a
I can
dog?
hear the dog clearly.
Okay. Let me let the dog out.
No, just take it. No, Guy.
No, hold on. No, hold on.
Guy.
But maybe the dog needs to go out.
I don't think that's gonna make any difference.
Down.
Oh, there he is. That's good. That's better now. See, it's already better.
I think when I put in the bedroom, she's learning how to be nice. She's just turned, she's 11 months old, and she's learning, and she just wants to be loved all the time. She don't like to be left alone.
It's a lap
Sorry
dog.
about that.
She's a lap
Yeah,
dog.
well, she's about 50 pounds. So the other one's 117. He thinks he's a lap dog. But, so I apologize for that. I put in the crate thinking she wouldn't knock something over, but maybe that's the wrong idea.
No problem.
But
Okay. Does that,
anybody anything repeated?
Can we talk about the budget?
I don't have a problem with that.
In it, it
But
has
does
capital.
everybody have a copy of this?
Sorry.
Do you have a copy of this, Sandy?
It was in the packet.
Yeah, okay.
Well, unfortunately, I went down to I thought there was a meeting, and then I realized it was a Zoom meeting. So I came home, so I never picked up my package, so I don't have a package, but I will pick it up in the morning.
You have capital expenses of $689,000. Do you have any idea what that would be used for?
It's gonna be used for comprehensive wastewater management plan. $650,000.
How much?
$650,000, up to $650,000.
$600,000 for a comprehensive wastewater plan.
Yeah, they go between 400,000 and $1 million. And so we're guessing around 600,000, maybe a little less.
So that will take care of all of your capital for 2023.
That is correct. That is correct.
Now, every once in a while, you put money against something called an outside contractor, but I don't see it in the budget.
Last week, last budget period, I gave you a worksheet that looks like this, and it has all the, it's outline detail.
And that says
last time around.
Guy, that says WIP on it, work in progress.
what?
Do you have anything more final?
No, it's the same number. The outside contract hasn't changed. I did
So
that
that
just
was,
so. What do you have for number? I haven't changed it. Outside contractors is rubbish disposal, engineers. I got a bunch of them.
okay. For clarification, it was in the December 2 packet.
I'm not sure what it was. I don't know.
I'm saying it was in the December 2 packet.
Okay,
So
good.
someplace
I
in
would-
here, I should see a,
Outside contractor line item, yes. It's $350,000. And I think we expended so far this year a little more than that. We couldn't transfer
oh, we exceeded our budget in 2022.
the budget, we're in 2022, yes. A few lines, we exceeded our budget.
Okay.
Electricity's gone out of sight. Sludge has gone out of sight. Outside contract a little high. I think there's a lot of different items that went up. But I have those numbers too somewhere. When I did the
So you'll be coming for capital planning for the 600,000 for the wastewater plan?
whatever you need, but that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna take the town meeting, but yeah, and we can explain it in more detail. I should have an actual proposal next week, so I'll have it for the next meeting, so you can see what goes into a comprehensive wastewater management plan, so you can make better judgment.
So you're planning no purchasing of any equipment?
No, all the equipment I bought this year, I'm not buying any more equipment, other than equipment in my budget, you'll see a line that says equipment, and that'll be equipment like pumps and things of that sort to make sure the plant runs.
Jimmy, before I went on vacation, you and I had a meeting regarding outside capital items. Did you discuss any of that with Guy?
I forgot which ones we're talking about now.
We went through all the outstanding capital items that had been
Yes, I
funded.
did. Yes, I did.
Can we put this on the agenda for the next meeting to talk about it line item by line item? Because it's not on, I've not seen it on any agenda for the last 3 meetings.
Meetings, our meeting or your meeting? What committee? This one or capital expense committee?
Sewer.
Okay. Seen what? The line items?
Well,
The items.
here's an example, Guy. You have funding from FY18 budget capital line. Well, FY18 closed 4 years ago.
Okay.
And it's still outstanding.
What was it? You remember what it was?
Yeah, rehab pump stations, 550,000.
We haven't done it yet.
Yeah,
That's
but it was
narrows.
funded, it was funded from a budget capital line item in FY18, which is closed.
Yeah, we haven't done it, so it goes back to retained earnings. We never did the project.
That's why we need to go through this whole list.
I did, but Jimmy,
You
we
d-
did.
Yeah, we did. I
Okay,
just don't
Jimmy,
have it.
can you share with us?
Oh, I'm
Because you never
glad to, but not
responded to
tonight.
me.
I can't do it
Huh?
right this moment because I don't have it right in front of me and I don't know exactly where I
But
put it.
you and Guy,
Yeah.
can you share with the rest of us what was the
We'll be
result of
happy
that?
to.
discuss-
Yes, I just said would be on the agenda for the next meeting.
Okay,
I don't understand where all the sarcasm's coming from today.
It's the American way.
I-
That's all I can tell you. It's the American way.
Come on,
It's annoying.
Well,
it's carried over from last night.
most American conversations are annoying. We've learned, we stopped learning about respecting others' opinions. My opinion is more important than your opinion. And we emphasize that and we go off. So I get aggravated if you don't believe what I believe. So yeah, it's a general reasonableness is gone. Civility, I guess they call it, is gone. And I don't know why, but it's just not there.
We just leave it at the door, okay?
Yeah. We all have the same goal. We have an enterprise. We have a $350 million investment that is falling apart. So our obligation is to keep it working, keep it going. And then outside that, we get all kinds of issues, capacity issues. Then there's personal agendas, then there's specific agendas, and they all get muddled into this. And so that's kind of crazy. So I'm trying to, and we are trying to, muddle through it and do what's best for the enterprise. That's it. And because we all work for the enterprise, that's our only priority in this particular meeting, is the priority of the enterprise and the people that pay the rates. That's all. No other agenda means anything to us at this point in time. And I think that's with all the committees everybody's on. You got to put that specific hat on, address that specific committee, and that's it. And do it in such a way that we all try to get to a common goal and get the common solutions. And agree to disagree and walk away friends and continue to be friends, even though we may not agree on many things or anything. But that doesn't change the way we should treat one another. Anyways, that's that.
What else do you have for us, Guy?
I have nothing. I have nothing. I really don't. I got things to talk about. We'll wait till next meeting. Is Sandy's suggestion and we'll bring them up the next meeting on the agenda so we can continue on and get more specific into different categories. I apologize for digressing to other things as we talk about things, but that's not good at all.
Well, it just kind of happens.
But that's,
We've got a lot going on down there.
Yeah, one thing leads into another. We do have a lot going on. We're still short-staffed. I had my lab manager resign again today. He's got a better opportunity to move along. Speaking of labor, everybody's got a good idea. One of the things we're finding throughout the country is people don't feel they make enough money to put their life on the line to continue. Wastewater is a very dangerous position. It's 365 days a year, 7 days a week, all day, and we're asking people to move crap around all day, every day, so we can all enjoy our lives. But we want them to be some of the lowest paid people within the community. And it just doesn't work anymore. It's not just in Wareham, it's throughout the country, because people are saying enough's enough. I'm just not going to do it. I can do the same thing flipping burgers, making the same money, so why am I putting myself at risk for diseases, et cetera, working with people's wastewater? So it's a pretty powerful problem throughout the country. I can show you emails and letters from all over the country that emphasizes that and supports that. So I'm hoping in the next negotiations that the town and the workers can get together and put it where it's supposed to be. Value them the way they're supposed to be valued, pay them the way they're supposed to be paid, and then we can attract some quality workers and get the job done. Today at the plant, I had 2 people and 2 managers. That's it. And that means with 2 people and 2 managers, we had 45 pump stations to take care of, and the flow at the plant and everything else, plus do markouts for water department and everything else. So it's an issue. And I don't know what the answer is. The town doesn't have an appetite for going private. I don't have a problem with that. They don't have to do that. But we have to have a solution to bring in quality people and pay them quality money to get quality work. Pretty straightforward stuff. It's not rocket science. We can debate it and chew it together politically and conservatively and liberally and everything you want to do. The bottom line is,
bottom line is we need bodies.
We need bodies.
And they need to be paid. And that's the end of it.
That's the end of the story.
Well, the Great Recession, the Great Resignation is what they're calling it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they are. It's real.
Well,
I'm waiting for the procedure.
I agree with you 100%, and I agree.
Not just us.
I agree exactly what you're saying about the pay, the quality of the pay and everything.
Yeah. So it's not just us. But
It's not. I'm waiting for procedure, and they're waiting for a doctor to do a specific procedure. Even doctors, I don't know what their deal is, but they're retiring. They're not available, and it's everybody's having the same problem, and I don't have all the answers.
okay, Guy, you
had
had budget discussion under your report. I think we've covered that for what we're going to do at the present time. Get budget discussion more at the next meeting.
Yes.
As an aside, while I'm still talking with you, and talking about this $650,000 item, can you be in attendance at the next capital planning meeting?
I don't know. That's a pretty hostile meeting every time I go. Those are very hostile meetings. I'm not so sure I want to be involved in those.
That's on the
They're
26th.
very hostile. They're not a good working environment. I'll check with my union rep. I may not be allowed to go there. I'll check and find out for you. Those are hostile working conditions.
It's on the 26th, Wednesday, the 26th, 1 o'clock.
In the afternoon?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because we know that you get cranky if you have to stay up past 6.
I know.
It's bedtime, man.
Well, it's better than me extending my day, so I'll just take some time to get away from anyway, so yeah, okay. 26.
Jimmy?
I'll send you a notice on that.
26, okay,
Yeah.
please do. 26
Yeah.
January.
All right. Sandy?
Jimmy, one more topic on the next agenda. We have to start talking about the spring and special spring articles. We haven't really talked about what articles will be submitted, and we really need to start working on that to be ready to submit them. and probably the first week in March, so we have less than 2 meetings to get them formalized.
Okay. That'll keep us busy. Okay. We still got the sump pumps out there, just going as it's going.
We're looking at a couple of things, Mr. Chairman. When we do the one Kinko, we're looking to use the sewer lines to give the people a place to put the sump pumps. We're also looking at 2 manholes, and in those manholes, we'll put some treatment to treat the water that comes out of it. So it satisfies MS4 and it satisfies the homeowners. So that'll be part of the discussion when we talk about one Kinko.
Okay, homes, they're being connected.
Wait. You said MS4, is that stormwater?
It is.
Yep.
So our sump pump water is stormwater.
But their sump pumps are going into our sewer lines.
When we put grinder pumps.
Did I
in there-
miss something?
When we
Yes,
put the
you're right.
grinder pumps in one Kinko, they cannot hook their sump pumps to it because the grinder pumps won't handle it, go back to the house. So as an alternative, we'll give them the old lines.
I guess I missed half of that. So the sump pumps will go into the stormwater lines? I thought that's illegal.
Nothing's illegal.
Remember
So
town
we-
meeting,
So we present the concept to the DEP and they're all for it. Here's the key, Sandy, is that in the back end, we put in the manhole, we put treatment. Because what's happening is instead of just dumping it to the ocean, which we're doing in the town of Wareham like crazy now, and it's polluting and sewer gets blamed for everything, and a high percent's our stormwater. So what we'll do is for sewer, because we're cognizant of treatment, in the manholes that we're gonna put those sump pumps to, we'll put an insert inside a manhole so we can treat that water that goes through it. So when it goes out to the ocean, it'll be clean. We'll try to remove all the nitrogen, et cetera.
Who's asking the DEP to override their rule that no sump pumps discharge into stormwater?
Well,
Who's
first of
working
all,
on that?
our engineer, but I haven't seen the
Sorry,
rule.
who
Our engineer,
is that?
Beta Engineering is doing the design. They're the
Oh,
ones that
Beta
appoint-
Engineering, not the town's engineering.
No,
Okay,
the town doesn't have an engineer.
I know it doesn't.
Okay, so it wouldn't be the town engineer.
Why the
But
fuck
what
would you say that?
I'm sorry, you can't hear? Peter, I'm sorry, is it still scrambled to you, Peter?
Yes,
yep,
See, Peter, I don't,
No, it
it's gotta
isn't.
be my computer. I don't know what. It's
Back
gotta
to
be
the-
the computer.
back to the 2 cans and a string.
Yeah, it's gotta be the computer.
Okay.
Does everybody have the same issue?
Yes,
I wish hold on. Let me go, I'll try, if I lose you, I lose you, but I'm thinking maybe I can go in here and look and see if there's something I can do in the computer. Hide screen.
okay. So as I understanding, Beta Engineering is looking into the possibility, working with DEP to discharge sump pumps into a stormwater drain. Is that what I heard? Or not
Yes.
heard?
Yes,
This is crazy. I don't know what's going on. Before the meeting, there wasn't an issue.
No, it started
Oh, it
halfway
did.
through the meeting.
started halfway through the meeting, guys.
Yeah, so
But-
I'm wondering, could you think it could be a Wi-Fi connection thing?
yeah, it could be that.
Back to this Beta Engineering. We're paying Beta Engineering. Why are we getting involved in this stormwater? It's not our problem, as long as it's not in our system.
Yes. It's, what it is an alternative. It's part of what they're doing. We're gonna abandon sewer lines. What we're doing is, what are we gonna do, or what can we do with those abandoned sewer lines? And that's just a suggestion. Doesn't mean we're gonna do it, it's a suggestion. We feel it's a good suggestion, but it's, you guys will vote on it, or the town, somebody will vote on it.
Now, are we talking about the sewer lines that are 17 feet down and made of asbestos?
Yes. Yes.
Then let's abandon them and get away from them completely. I mean, we're gonna get now blamed for bringing asbestos into the ocean if
No,
we let them use them as storm drains.
Peter, my thoughts are, if we're having a problem with storm, that's gentle, then we probably have a major storm with the many miles of asbestos all throughout Wareham. So that problem is there. We're already in a heap of world. If
Right,
that's
but
the
if
case.
if we're correcting it by putting in grinder pumps and they're gonna take care of our waste, let's just get away from this stormwater. It's not our problem.
No, it isn't our problem, but if we can offer a solution to our customers, I'd like to. It
I
doesn't mean
think
we
you're
have to,
opening Pandora's box, guy.
probably. Yeah, probably. I don't know, but and if the board feels to leave it alone, I have no problem with that. I'm just throwing it out there. That's all I'm doing, throwing it out there as a solution. That's all. Other than that, I'm not saying to do it. I'm saying it's a viable solution, and that's all. That's
And
all.
Guy,
gonna-
you just cleared out.
I'm
I
sorry.
don't hear static. I don't hear static anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. What I'm doing now is I'm clicking on, so I got just you on the screen now, Sandy. So I don't know if that makes a difference. I don't know.
Yeah,
It
clear.
definitely, your static's gone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so now what I'm doing is that when anybody talks, that person comes up. So I'm thinking maybe that might have something to do with it. We'll see. Well, that's good. That's good. Whatever I did, I'm a genius. Don't know what I did, but I'm a genius.
Well, keep it
But
up.
yeah.
Okay, moving forward, new business, anything? Anybody?
Yeah,
Good.
there's one thing I'd like to go back to.
Yep. Shoot.
Back to Donna's workshop. I think the sooner the better.
I agree.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I've got a note on that to figure out when.
And I think really the sooner the better. It enters into virtually everything that you have put on the agenda for next week. It enters into the budget. It enters into everything. I really think it would be a good idea to get it started.
Peter, do you think it should be in a couple individuals or you think the whole group? How do you think the best way to handle it? To
Well,
stay
I
away
don't
from
know.
public meetings?
If we do it with the whole group, then do we have to conform to open meeting laws, or can it
Yes.
just be a workshop?
Yes.
Do. No, we
No.
do. We
What?
do.
Has to
Yes,
be-
what?
Yes,
They have
we
to
have to
conform.
conform to open meeting laws.
Even though it's a
has to-
workshop.
Yeah.
It is correct. You're correct.
So the only way to get around that is to do it with two people and not three.
Right.
To my understanding, yes, you're absolutely right.
I don't think that's going to be productive. I think we need everybody there, or as many people as it can make it.
Well, my thoughts were if you did 2, 2, and 2, then when you have a meeting, you all already have a concept of what you've been talking about and what your feelings were. Then you can bring that to the meeting and it'd be more fruitful discussion. That was my only thoughts of breaking it up.
So do groups of two?
Yes, and then everybody gets together when everybody's got the information they need and understandings. And then you can, as a group, you can discuss it. Everybody has a greater understanding and it could be more fruitful and productive. That was my thoughts.
I don't agree with that.
Okay, Jimmy, can you post a meeting for a workshop?
Yeah,
We
I
all
can do
be
that.
attending
Yeah, I can do that.
in person in the plant.
Yes, I believe, and we can check if we do an open meeting, then we have to have provisions for people to come. Because it's an open meeting, that means that the public can attend.
Oh, we'll have lots of people there, right?
I don't know, but I'm just saying in the event of, I don't, because I have a conference room, we can all sit around.
I know.
But if somebody wants to come, they have to come. We have to make provisions for them to come. So, that's all I'm saying. But
Yeah,
I don't
no,
care
all
where
that.
you have it. Wherever you want to have it, we'll have it. I think it's a good idea whether you do it in that venue, but it's got to be discussed in detail. And you got to be able to do that.
Okay, I'll set something up and it'll be at the plant. And probably in the conference room. And if we get too much of an overflow of people that want to join us, we can move them to the trailer.
There you go.
Why don't we just meet in the trailer?
Forget it. Well, if we have to, we will. I'd rather.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, I'll talk to Guy. Okay, anything else?
Is it time for me?
Yes, you're on the
Oh.
agenda right there.
I make a
Oh,
motion.
sorry, before you go, we're gonna have some paperwork to sign, so please, can you, come by on Tuesday to start signing paperwork?
Is this for the agendas? Are you the
No,
only
this
one to
is for the
sign?
minutes. The minutes.
I'm sorry, the minutes. So everybody signs the minutes or just you? Everybody?
Everybody's, I need at least 3 signatures on each one of the minutes.
Okay.
So
didn't
where are
realize
you
that.
gonna come by to sign?
They will be in the plant.
Okay,
I expect it
fine.
to be there Tuesday. Sorry, Donna.
Okay,
You're on.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second,
All in favor?
roll
Aye.
call.
Aye.
Peter,
Yes,
Sandy,
yes.
Donna,
Yes.
Mac,
Yes.
Jim, yes. 500,
7:48.
yes.
Night.
All in a day's work.
and party 6.
Guy,
Yes, yes, yes,
do me a favor, will you?
I will.
Get some rest.
I'm going to, yeah, I slept good last night. I'm gonna try to do it again tonight. I have an eye appointment. I'm getting cataracts removed, so I'm getting a little nervous about that. They tell me it's nothing to worry about, but they tell me that stuff.
I had mine done, no problem.
Yeah, that's what they tell me. Don't worry. They tell me, don't worry about it. Even think about it. And You know
I had
me, I'm
both
a-
done.
I'm
I'm
in
a
the,
worry wart. I got to do 2 also, Sandy. So that's what I'll be doing.
I'm in the same boat. You got to get it done, but I don't.
Yeah.